got a quarter.
Due to the graphic nature of the following program, viewer discretion is advised.
Your Honor, all discovery has been exchanged to my knowledge. The court be kind enough to give us just one final pretrial. We are going to do some research into one of the priors to see if it is legit or not.
All right, and so what day were you thinking?
How far out are you scheduling?
Well, it probably should be done in May.
Okay. How about, you good on the 14th? Is the 14th okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Mark.
5/14 it is.
And then, Your Honor, can I make just a very brief argument about an ALS form?
Sure.
So there's a 2255 form in the file. That's the exact same copy, obviously the one that I have. The bottom of it is not notarized. It's not signed by the clerk. And in the section where it allows for a peace officer to sign, the trooper crossed that out and wrote in trooper. So that tells me that he does not have the requisite peace officer training needed to sign that section. Otherwise, I don't know why he would cross that out. So I think that the form provided to Mr. Thomas and then turned into the court, not only is it incomplete because it's not notarized or signed by the clerk, I also think it's incomplete because the witness / trooper signed the peace officer section, presumably because he had nowhere else to sign.
Your Honor,
Okay.
may I say something? They changed the ORC. We're allowed to sign now. We can do those in our summons tickets for minor misdemeanor marijuana.
This is for the
This
peace
is my
officer
first
training?
case. Y'all gonna give me all this right now? Oh my goodness. Okay, so
I did not know that. I'll look into it.
okay, when was it? When was it?
I believe last year we had the training.
You had the training?
Yeah, we actually, they included some, we had to go to a class and they explained it.
Okay, so the statute isn't changed, your training changed? I'm not questioning.
No,
I'm
the
just trying-
statute changed and they trained us on it so we could do it.
Okay. I don't know why he would cross out peace officer then. Nonetheless, it's still not notarized or signed by the clerk as required by 4511-192.
Okay, so you say all that to say what?
That it's invalid, the form.
And therefore,
That I'd ask the court to terminate the ALS based on the fatal deficiency of the form.
okay,
Judge, good morning, Mark
Good
Jablonski,
morning,
on
how
behalf
are
of the
you?
city. I'm well, Judge, yourself.
good.
Your Honor, if the court finds there's a deficiency in the 2255 and terminates the ALS, this is a 3rd and 10. The court is well within its right to impose a pretrial suspension anyway. So if the court's inclined to terminate the ALS, we'd ask the court impose a pretrial suspension to protect the safety of the public. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, that's a good response.
No objection to that. It just allows me to file for privileges, that's all.
Okay, and so if that was what you were angling for in the first place, I could have given you privileges. However, he has to have the guardian interlock because he's a risk.
Sure.
So if he wants the guardian interlock, he can have pretrial driving privileges.
Great. How about well, he wasn't eligible for them, given the 3rd and 10.
Oh, what's the-
That's why I made the pitch
Oh,
about
I
the
see.
ALS. I'll be happy to now, I can file for them normally now that, well, I guess depending on the court's ruling with regard to the
Okay,
ALS.
take 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have put you through all that.
Yeah, the first one too.
Sorry.
Okay, so yes, you can file that and we can revisit the issue.
Okay, great.
How's that?
That's
Okay,
fair
so
enough.
5/14 would be a pretrial date. And in the interim, 30 motions, we'll entertain them.
Wonderful.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Johnson. So what's going on with the license?
I was just waiting till I come out. I just paid on my reinstatement fees off. I just get insurance and go down to BNV. I got my warrant block papers. I was just waiting till I came in court. I didn't know what y'all was gonna do with this. So,
Okay, so this was 2017, so it may have been a minor misdemeanor depending on the date. October, that was back to an M1, is that correct? I think so.
That's my understanding, Judge.
Okay. All right, so the case is kind of, it's like a year and a half old, so why don't you talk to the prosecutor and let's work something out today? You can still try to get your license.
I am. I'm planning during the next 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
May I have a continuance so I can just come back with my license and insurance?
How long is it gonna take, Mr. Johnson? Because this is a
Oh, I
two-year-old
know,
case.
I know. I had to pay all them reinstatement fees and go to all these Macedonia and everybody. Of course. Give me
Okay,
that.
so when you pay Macedonia, you
I
better
paid
pay
them
us.
all. They all paid.
Okay,
them.
so when I
I'm
say
ready.
what my fine is, you pay ours too. You can pay Macedonia.
That took me fast.
Okay, so when you gonna bring back this license?
21 days. You give me that? Like what? Beginning of May. What's today?
May 7th, you're gonna have your license?
I got it.
Okay, May 7th. Okay, that's final now. You said you did 0. So what's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I just had a lot going on. Like, I want to do it. You know, I don't want to disrespect. Like, I don't have no excuses. Like, I want to do it. Can you just give me, like, to do it next week? Because my son started daycare next week and everything. Shelter. You know what I'm saying? I just found housing. You know what I'm saying? I've just got a lot going on. So if you would let me do it, like, start next week, I'll get it done.
Okay, Miss Gabriel, this case is like 2 years old.
I know. Like, I did, like, I know. I just want to get everything over. And I want to, like, I really get myself together. So I was going to ask if, like, you could give me, like, a warrant block thing so I could, like, start on, like, working on my license. That way when I get that done, I could just get everything done at one time while I'm on a, you know,
Oh, so that's
good
why you're
track.
here, because you need a favor?
No. 'Cause I hope you
That's
do
what
it,
it
but
sounds like.
no, I need a favor to give me community service again. And you
Okay,
got
so
me,
she did
and you
the-
got me doing it at a food bank, but they like, can I do it at Cosgrove? Cause I be down there every day because of the shelter situation. Cause it's hard for me to like get around like that.
All right, you have 70 hours now. There's absolutely no reason that you could not have done 60 hours in 2 years.
Okay,
70 hours, and you need to show me that you did it
okay,
on, May the 7th.
cool. Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, may it please the court, Chris McMonigal, public defender on behalf of Mr. Feliciano. I've had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation. Your Honor, on a previous date, Mr. Feliciano pled guilty to the low-tier DUI, 3rd and 10. I think that the report was making a recommendation based upon the high-tier BAC reading. So I just wanted to point out that that would be the only point of contention I would have with the report, is that he pled to a low-tier DUI, and so therefore the minimum sentence that would be available would be 30 days in jail or 15 days in jail, and I believe 45 days of house arrest electronic monitoring. I might be wrong on the house arrest days.
15 and 55.
15 and 55. Now, my client has successfully completed some programs, the Ohio Inc. Intensive Outpatient Group Program, Financial Literacy Budgeting Workshop.
It's all from the CBCF.
These are from the CBCF. May I approach and
Sure.
show the court?
Thank you. What's the date of this ticket?
Okay.
It was November 17th of 2016.
Oh, 16, okay.
So you haven't had any problems?
Okay, well, this is all good, Mr. Feliciano, but
Thank you.
it's not recent.
I just got out October 22nd.
Pardon me?
of 2018. I got out October 22nd.
Right, I understand that, but when I told you that you had some homework to do, doesn't mean you can reach back into your file cabinet and just bring stuff that you had already done. Okay, so this is all good, but when I give homework assignments, they have to be current. That meant that you needed to go to some AA meetings or something like that. You needed to show me what you're doing now, not what you did 6 months ago.
Right.
Even though the DUI does predate all of that, you still need to mitigate this.
I go to aftercare, but it's in Sandusky, so it's
But
like
what?
hard. Aftercare?
You say you would go to aftercare, but what?
I do go to aftercare.
So, well, where is that information?
In Sandusky. I couldn't bring it with me. I was already down here. I've been down here. I can't get back and forth like I can, like I want to. It's
I don't
just hard.
understand.
I don't drive. It's hard for me to get back and forth. I've been down
You
here.
don't have to drive to get places, you know that, right?
Not me.
Pardon me?
Not me. I can't drive.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, what do people who cannot drive do to get around?
Yep. From Sandusky to here.
Oh, you live in Sandusky?
Yes, yes.
How'd you get here today?
My friend.
Your friend?
Yeah.
Where's the
They
friend?
can't always bring. She's outside. She's out there in the lobby. She is.
Where'd you park?
Do you want me to go call for her?
No, that's okay. I have a sneaking suspicion that she's the friend, but
Well,
No.
if that's gonna impact the,
well, no, it's not.
Proceeding.
It's not going to impact what I do. But when I give people homework, I expect them to bring me homework that they have done recently, like in the past.
Judge, if the
I didn't understand. what
court
you
would
said.
take into consideration that in the time since this happened, my client has been incarcerated and has availed himself of opportunities that come with that, did complete those matters. So I just am asking the court to take into consideration what he has done since then.
Okay,
And they have no-
only
they
because
have
this
no-
is a 2016 case. I'm going to let you slide on that, but you're going to be on probation, and it's going to be a short leash. And I'm not going to allow you to say, well, I live in Sandusky, so I couldn't do this, that, and other thing. You have to do it regardless, because your offense was in Cleveland. So you don't get to say, well, I don't live in Cleveland, when you offend in Cleveland.
Understand.
Would it
Did
be
the city
po-
wish to be heard? Let's see what's-
No, Your Honor, we
Okay.
defer to the wisdom of the court.
All right. I'm sorry, Mr. McLaughlin.
Would it be possible to arrange it so that he doesn't have to travel frequently?
We'll
Cleveland?
figure something out.
Thank you.
But, and I would just note that, Mr. Feliciano, just because only the 3rd and 10 is applicable for mandatory sentences, I think I went down your pink sheets, and you had way more than 3.
Yes.
You had like 7. So what do you do now? Where do you work?
Till I get back home. I work for Flex Temp and then I work at American Quality Stripping
And where is that?
in Sandusky.
So you have a temporary job in Sandusky now?
Yes, yes. They're waiting for me to get back there. I've been here a week, just waiting so I can come back to court. I was here after the day after I was supposed to come to court and try to get another court date, and then I had got a call a couple of days later from George saying to be here today. So I've been here ever since then.
When are you going to do this 30 days?
Whenever you want me to, I guess.
So that means today?
Might as well get it over with.
And what was the date of the ticket again, Mike?
Your Honor, my client wishes to inform the court that he was incarcerated for 7 days from this case.
think it has to be consecutive.
16. Please double check your phones, please. Grace, okay.
You got it?
Well, then, could he receive credit towards the fines and court costs?
Yes. Okay, it's $2,750, 365 days, $1,900 of the fine, and 330 of the days are suspended. 2 years active with an assessment and follow up with any recommendations they may have. Your license is suspended from 11/17/16 to 11/17/19. Credit for 10 days towards the fine, which is $500. You still owe us a mandatory $350 plus court costs. So SOE 35 days.
Okay, you're gonna step to your left, sir.
Okay, you can swear in the witnesses.
Would you raise your right hand? Officer, do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony about to give in this case to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? As you said, answer to God, please say I do.
I do.
You may proceed.
I do.
You may proceed.
May I start with the witness?
I'm sorry?
May I start questioning the
Yes,
witness?
you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you state your name for the record, sir?
Detective Allen, Cleveland Police, 4th District Vice.
And how many years have you been with the Cleveland Police?
Approximately 13 years.
Okay. And how did you come about to get to know the defendant in this matter?
That location over there, East 117, it's north of Benham. It's a commander's complaint, vacant houses, people over there hanging out and things of that nature.
Could you explain to the court what a commander's complaint is?
Citizen's complaint called into the commander's office, and then it's sent to whatever unit to address it.
Okay, and what did you find when you arrived there?
We found a number of things there. We found a stolen car with someone sleeping in it. We found people on the porch of a vacant house living in it. And we found people drinking on the front walk.
Okay, and where was the defendant at this time?
Walking away from the stolen vehicle with a beer can in his hand on the front walk.
Okay, and what did you proceed to do?
We secured everyone. We had an individual in the car who was sleeping, secured him, and the car was stolen. Individual with the beer can, we secured him along with a few other people. And we started to assess our situation.
Okay, and what did you end up charging the defendant with?
I simply wrote him an open container ticket.
And what were the facts that led you to decide to charge him with that offense?
When we arrived on scene, we observed him walking from the passenger side of the car back towards one of the only occupied houses on the street with a beer can. No brown bag, anything of that nature, just plain view.
Okay. Did you Mirandize the defendant when you took him into custody?
No.
Okay. Is there video available?
There's body cam video.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Clark, this is your opportunity if you'd like to take it to ask the detective any questions you might have. It's called cross-examination. Or you can waive your right to cross-examine this officer and just tell me your side, and you can do both. Any questions?
I just want to know, I want to see the body cam because I know that wasn't me. I know exactly who he arrested. I did my own homework. He arrested Demetrius Jones. That's who he arrested. I don't
Okay,
even
so
be
how
on
do you
the
know
hydro-
that?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
Because he up under my name. Like every time he go to jail, I get in trouble for it. So he like an alias.
Okay, and what's the relationship?
That's my baby mama's cousin. Yeah. And he's in jail now.
Okay, so let me see. No fingerprint or anything like that. And this was
And Your
last
Honor,
year?
when you don't have no ID, why you didn't just take him to jail?
I'm sorry?
Why he didn't take him to jail?
Well, I mean, do you want people to arresting people for open containers?
I mean, I'm sitting here for court for nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't want to live in a society where people just arrest people for little minor stuff, do we? So we just give him a ticket, because he couldn't have known. Okay, so officer, he's saying that it's somebody who looks like him who has a habit of doing this. Is that a plausible defense?
It has happened before.
Okay. All right, that's a reasonable doubt. Okay, trial had found not guilty. Okay, so he needs to have a family meeting. Thank you, officer. Detective.
Would you raise your right hand? Raise your right hand. Officer, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this case to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? As you answer the God, please say I do.
I do.
Say I do.
I do.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you please state your name for the record?
Yes, it's Officer Davis.
And how long have you been with the Cleveland Police?
So since February, I graduated the police academy in February, so I'm still currently employed.
Okay. And you have a field training officer?
Yes,
And is he present here today?
he is not here.
Okay. How did you get to know the defendant?
Well, while I was on basic patrol, me and my field training officer seen the defendant's taillights that were on the opposite side of the roadway in the opposite direction of traffic, facing the same way that we were. So we pull up behind the car, and myself and my FTO jump out of the zone car, approach the defendant's car, and we had the defendant to pull over to the correct side of the roadway. And when the defendant did, and we were behind him, we got out of the car. I was able to get his identification, and at that point in time, I wrote him a ticket, issued him a ticket.
Okay. And how did you stop that vehicle?
With our overhead lights.
Okay. And the vehicle complied?
Yes.
Okay. And who was in the driver's seat at the time of the vehicle?
Of the vehicle that we stopped.
Yes.
It was Mr. Haynes.
Okay. And is he in this courtroom?
Yes.
Can you point him out?
He was right there.
Let the record show that the officer has identified the defendant.
So noted.
And what happened when you approached the defendant?
I introduced myself and told him the reason for the stop, and I asked him for his identification. We pulled him out of the vehicle, and we placed
So
him.
you pulled him out?
I do not recall.
Okay. Continue.
And once I was able to get his identification, I ran him through our leads, and that's when I issued the citation.
Okay. And what was the citation for?
The citation was for the wrong side of the roadway.
And how was the defendant's behavior when you were interacting with him?
He was compliant.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Hayes, do you have any questions for Officer Davis? You'd like to cross-examine him, or waive your right to cross-examine Officer Davis and just tell me your side, or would you like to do both?
Yeah,
Any questions?
I was out working, and I was doing DoorDash. It was a big pothole.
I'm sorry, what's DoorDash?
The food delivery.
Okay.
So it was a big pothole. I kind of went around the pothole. He went around the pothole too, but he stopped me though. And they only had one headlight too. And
The police car only had one headlight?
I got license insurance. Yeah, I got license insurance, everything. They take me out my car for no reason though.
They
For
did
going
take you
around
out
the
of the car?
pothole. Yeah. And I feel like he was trying to extort me though. He was like, just pay the fine. I ain't gonna turn my body camera on or none of that though.
Who said that? Not this officer.
The officer and the other officer.
Okay, so you were doing the DoorDash on which street?
55th by Quincy.
Had you already made your delivery?
No.
So you hadn't even made it yet? They get their food?
Eventually.
Okay. So, Officer Davis, do you remember making Mr. Hayes get out of the car? Do Do you remember what the reason was that he had to get out of the car?
I do not recall.
They put me in handcuffs and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. He was handcuffed for a traffic ticket?
I was handcuffed and in the back of the police car. Eventually, they let me out. He told me he wasn't gonna turn the body camera on, just pay the fine before court. And I just came to court, so.
Okay, you don't remember any of that?
Your Honor, I do not recall.
All right, trial had found not guilty. Okay, Mr. Milton, you have a lawyer?
No.
You don't have a lawyer?
What I need a lawyer for?
Because this is a serious case, you can go to jail for 30 days?
No, I don't have a lawyer.
I'm sorry?
What serious case?
I didn't hear you.
No, I don't have a lawyer. You told me to come back with my driver's license.
Okay, but you are still Tavon Milton, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you had the license case, but then you also have this menacing charge?
What minute's in charge?
Is this him?
different. That's,
Oh, okay.
Tanzania, Your Honor.
Yep, thank you. Okay. Sorry about that, Mr. Milton.
I'm like, minute's in charge. All I know is that.
Okay, it's two Meltons on the docket. Okay, so Mr. Tavon Milton is valid.
Yes.
All right, you have your insurance?
No, I have to, can I email to you Friday? Because I have to pay it. I don't
Well,
have
we
any-
can't, it doesn't work that way because they
Right.
journalize everything, so you would have to actually come back.
Come back, okay.
Okay, so when you gonna have it, next week?
Yes.
Okay, 4/23?
Okay. Yeah, me scared for a minute. Thank you.
For a videotape copy of this episode, call 664-3571 with the following information on your TV screen.